morning and welcome to Weekends with Whitney. We are here at the Dream Day Foundation, high above all the fun. But coming up, I'm going to take you down to let you see what hundreds of families and patients at St. Jude get to experience on a day that they have certainly deserved. And still to come. She's one of only 30 people in the world making prosthetics for animals. How it saved the life of Molly, Jake, Bob, and more. Plus, Dr. Nick differentiates addiction and healthy enthusiasm. How knowing the difference helps our well-being. But we begin with one of the few women in the world saving animals limb by limb.
He's awesome.
Bob is a rescue dog once facing euthanasia. Niki Hansen saved him.
His paw was stuck like this, like it was immobile, and then he couldn't feel anything, so there's no feeling in his foot at all. We don't know what happened to him.
But this LSU vet school student knew what needed to happen next. Her new best friend needed part of his leg amputated, then an artificial limb. Niki made Bob's prosthesis. She's one of only about 30 people in the world who makes them.
Everybody else kind of thought I was crazy. Hey, you want to put prosthetics on animals? You want to do implant what?
It's given Bob a new leash on life.
When I pull the prosthetic down, he gets super excited. And he'll lay down for me and he'll hold his paw out for me, his little nub out for me. And he's like, okay, yeah, put it on, go for it. And I put it on, he slides his residual limb right into the sock. And he's happy as he can be.
Niki made one for Jake too.
Whenever I found out that there was somebody out there that made prosthetics for dogs, that was really cool. It was an answer to prayers for him, yeah.
It was an answered prayer for Niki too.
It started back when I was a kid. I got a horse for my 8th birthday, and he was just my best friend. That was my buddy. I'm gonna start to cry if I start thinking about it too much.
Okay, you can cry here. We're in good company.
But he came up lame several years later.
The vet said they might have to euthanize. She was traumatized.
Why do we have to put them down? Why can't he have a prosthetic leg like people do? That stuck with me.
Luckily, surgery fixed her horse, but that fear planted a seed.
I always wanted to work with animals, but I wanted to be a veterinarian, but I was terrible in science and I was terrible in math.
So in college in Charleston, she majored in her other love, music. But after college, nothing fell into place.
Ended up just working a bunch of really odd jobs. I mean, I did everything from mucking stalls to retail to selling cars to logistics and freight forwarding and shipping industry and payroll and just everything. So I knew what I didn't like.
Okay.
I knew what I didn't like, and I was just, everything kind of started falling apart around December-ish 2004, and ended up writing a note to myself, just in I guess a sheer moment of desperation during that time, and God, please use me.
Next, she got a new job, went back to college, and set out to become a veterinarian. Her path deviated a little when she read an article on Molly, the 3-legged pony in Louisiana. It was an aha moment. Prosthetics and getting her PhD at LSU would become her new mission.
In 2008, before I moved to Louisiana, I was packing all my stuff up. I was packing my apartment up, and I came across this notebook, and I was looking at this piece of paper that I had written 4 years earlier. And it was, please God, help me find purpose for my life. Please God, allow me to do something that I enjoy and make an impact in people's lives. And it was what I had written. And all of it, I still keep it. All of it had come true, and I was just sat down and I just cried. I was like, man, that's what it's about.
She had no idea at the time, but Molly would one day cast a light on her life in other ways too. Molly was one of thousands of animals rescued in the aftermath of Hurricane Katrina. As fate would have it, Kay Harris, owner of Ponytails just outside of New Orleans, found Molly and gave her a new home. But soon after, a pit bull Kay also rescued attacked 5 of her ponies. Molly was injured the worst.
All 4 legs looked like they'd been put through a meat grinder. There was no skin, no muscle, nothing left on that front leg, down to the bone. Her bone was open and exposed. The bottom was crushed. And it took 17 staples to put her jaw back together. And then it took stitches in her belly wound. Honestly, that was what the vet was worried about the most at first.
Miraculously, Molly recovered everywhere except her front leg.
I knew we had lost the battle, and the vet came out and of course said it's time for euthanasia.
Kay refused and took a long shot that somewhere on the internet she could find someone who could build Molly a leg.
When I first typed in equine prosthetics, I'm thinking loco, and it popped up and I'm like, who knew, right?
Before an artificial limb, it would take convincing surgeons at LSU's vet school.
The animal has to be willing to put up with what you have to put up with in order to have a prosthetic. We got LSU to meet her, and I think it was Molly who convinced them. It's definitely Molly who says, hey, excuse me, it's my life. Yes, we can do this.
The next step was surgery to amputate.
When she woke up from the surgery, which is the most critical point in time for a horse, is when they're waking up out of the anesthesia, they're disoriented, they get up, they thrash. She came out of it very easily. We let her up, I got at her head, and she walked right off. And we were all crying. And I'm like, I knew you could do it, I knew you could do it.
But could she also take to a prosthetic leg? You bet. And it was Niki who made her latest one.
And so it was kind of the culmination of the 10 years of, the dream of putting a prosthetic leg on a horse. And I just, I have video of when she took some of her first steps after she threw it in the air, and then she just started walking, and I was like, I was almost in tears. I was just like, hey, I did it, that's amazing.
Molly isn't just a miracle in and of herself. She helps bring about miraculous things in other people too.
To me, the important part of the story is what happened afterwards.
Next week, we'll share some of those miracles with you as Molly travels the country, helping others who are also a little different feel a new connection. Niki is finishing up her PhD right now, but look for her company, Impossible Innovations, to change the lives of animals in the very near future. And still to come. Meet the Denham Springs man who, after surviving childhood cancer, became a doctor to save the lives of other children. How they're making dreams come true together. Then Dr. Nick explores the difference between healthy enthusiasm and addiction as Weekends with Whitney continues.
Who says an old dog can't learn new tricks?
Do you want to learn how to inspire?
Learn to fly? Or learn how to drive?
Take a run around this park.
Or this park?
Or this park.
And we'll teach you how to dance.
And reach for the sky.
No matter your age, BREC offers classes to keep you moving, learning, and having fun.
Visit BREC.org and see how together we've made BREC better than imagined.
Maggio, the only way to go. Maggio Buick GMC, your satisfaction's our specialty. We really deliver on Falls River, here in New Roads. Small town atmosphere, legendary service for over 60 years. Maggio, the only way to go. The only way to go, that's Maggio.
Buying or selling a home can be stressful and exhausting, unless you choose me. I'm Regina Roselle with K Realty. Don't just trust your largest asset to anyone. Go with success. I've sold hundreds of homes over the last 10 years, and I can get you top dollar for your home, as well as get you the best price on your new one. Email me at buywithregina@gmail.com. I'll do all the work. All you have to do is pack. Let's get moving together.
Welcome back to Weekends with Whitney. This morning, we're going to the country for a day filled with dreams. a camel, kangaroo, sloth, deer, ducks, reptiles, bunnies, chicks, silky chickens, and horses and ponies that grant wishes. They're just a few of the surprises for children in the battle of their lives, fighting cancer. St. Jude Dream Day is one day out of the year. They get to forget all about their medical condition and just be a kid. Dream Day started 22 years ago when one child with cancer just wanted to come out here fishing. And now, any kid getting treatment for cancer can come and enjoy this day too. 3 buses filled with children came this year. They're VIPs, escorted by a police motorcade. I got to go 300 feet up in the air for a bird's eye view of the fun ahead. John and Marty Inquist say it seems like just yesterday when they opened their Clinton Ranch for that first child.
Marty and I happened to be up here when the child came to go fishing, met him and his parents, and we were just so impressed with him and the parents and the way they were dealing with a really tough situation. So, next year I think we had 3 or 4 different kids come up, and it snowballed into us creating, a group of us creating a foundation and starting this thing, and today it's developed into this.
Kids here have access to 1,700 acres. There's everything for the kids to do. It is a dream day for these St. Jude patients.
It's awesome, and we see these kids that started here 22 years ago. They're married with children.
Jason Swartz is one of them. At 13, he was diagnosed with leukemia.
I think the first year that I came here was in 1996. So after I had gotten through the hard part of therapy in the late 95, I came here in 1996. I think that was the second year maybe, yeah. And so it was just me and another patient, Danny Bozeman. I think we were one of the 2 people that were the original comers of Dream Day. So it's a special, special day for everyone, but certainly holds a special place in my heart.
Now, Dr. Schwartz is a pediatric oncologist working as a fellow in Memphis at St. Jude Hospital. Is that why you went to med school? Because
it is exactly why I went to med school. Yeah.
Really?
My experience at St. Jude, in retrospect, was a really positive one. There were hard times, there was sucky parts of it all, but it really instilled a curiosity in me, and I thought that I had something to offer. So I really made it a focus to try to one day get back there, and I've been really fortunate to get back there.
Miracles happen at St. Jude, and they've made such incredible strides in dealing with these catastrophic childhood diseases that were, a virtual death sentence when St. Jude opened.
The survival rate for the leukemia Dr. Schwartz had is now 95%. But numbers for other childhood cancers are much lower.
Unfortunately, many of the other diseases have much less success rate, and that's why St. Jude is really pushing forward with research and discovery to try to make all of the different types of cancers as you know, a survival rate as good as leukemia.
So in addition to giving St. Jude children and their families everything here today, the Dream Day Foundation also donates up to $500,000 a year for research.
Hopefully one day it'll make Danny's dream come true that no child should die in the dawn of life.
Children symbolized in these balloons. Each one released represents a child who died this year of cancer. Here they dream of the day there will be no more balloons. If you'd like to be a part of that huge day and their success, you can go to their website, dreamdayfoundation.org. And if you would like a chance at a dream of your own, don't forget, you can buy a $100 ticket to win the $500,000 St. Jude Dream Home. For that, you can go to WBRZ.com. And still ahead, are your obsessions addictions or just healthy enthusiasm? Dr. Nick lets us know how to define the difference as Weekends with Whitney continues.
The new year is a perfect time to make your money work hard for you. Hi, I'm Ian James, financial advisor and president of Capital Financial Group. Like millions of Americans, you're likely paying higher taxes and higher fees than you probably should. With 20 years of industry experience, I have a proven plan to analyze your investments and reduce hidden costs and fees. You work hard for your money. It's time to let your money work hard for you. Call me, Ian James, for a free, no-obligation portfolio review and a brighter financial future.
Go Roof is proud to serve the Baton Rouge and surrounding areas with our years of experience and quality service. We want more than just your roofing needs. Go Roof cares about the client and wants you to be our customer for life. Roof replacement, repair, vents, and more. Go Roof will get it done. We have excellent standing relationships with all the top insurance companies, so making your claim is fast and easy. A beautiful roof every single time at Go Roof. Call now for a free estimate.
The word addiction is thrown around often these days, maybe excessively, because perhaps what we are defining as addiction is really more of a healthy enthusiasm. Dr. Nick joins us this morning to help separate the two.
Good morning.
Good morning.
It sounds like you've already got the distinction down, or at least you've been thinking about it.
I have been thinking about it. You brought this idea and this topic up, and I thought, we do.
Yeah.
I'm addicted to my cell phone. I'm addicted to work. I'm addicted
to a series, let's say, or to lying on the sofa all day on Saturday,
or to what's going on in the presidential election.
What's going on in the presidential election, or maybe something like maybe food. I think, you know, I think of people, what would be excessive, you know, we were talking about how to distinguish them.
Right. Where's the line?
Where would we know we're kind of really getting close to what would be an addiction? And most researchers that I read talk about the symptoms of salience, which is a preoccupation with it, where, you know, we just can't see anything else or think anything else.
So, and I'm going to use the food thing as an example here, because in Louisiana, we are very food oriented. So,
that's a good pickup.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, we want to talk about it all the time. What'd you eat? Where are you eating next? What'd you make last night? And all those things. We do, I think, more than most other states, because our food is better.
Well said. And you know what we could add to that? Pardon me for interrupting.
Go ahead.
We could add LSU football to that.
Oh, well,
We'll go back to food. But we could add LSU football to that. Is it excessive or is it addictive? And again, we're going to talk more about the symptoms. But you were talking about salience.
Well, salience is okay, if I'm planning out a grocery list, obviously, and planning out the meals, that's a healthy enthusiasm.
Sure.
But if I just finished eating and I can't think of anything else but what I'm going to eat next. That's an addiction?
That would be an addiction, or that would certainly be qualified for questionable. Not noticing your family. You hear the preoccupation with the food, that you can't see anything else.
Right.
That's really more of what it is. It's like nothing else matters. Everything else is in the way. It becomes an obsession. And look at what it does to the functioning of the family or everything else in that person's life.
Sure.
And then another symptom that we would look for would be mood altering. And again, we have to be careful because mood altering usually is escape from pain or high levels of stress. Okay? If people are out partying every Friday night, okay, and they're doing it because they're having fun with their friends, is that really addiction or is that excessive, if you want to call it enthusiasm? Do you see how close it cuts?
Right.
And I think we have to be careful to say to people, this is about discernment. We have to discern. I'm not saying that it can't be. I'm just saying we have to. If somebody sits around and watches a TV series on the weekend, 24, the first thing I'm going to want to ask is, do you do that every week? Now we're moving into a preoccupation, and then one would be withdrawal. If all of a sudden you can't do your food, and you just start literally, maybe not physiological, but certainly there's an emotional.
Right. If the doctor tells you need to pull back from the table, Whitney, and change your habits, and that really causes a problem internally.
Yes, or not spend so much time scripting it, and you just pull back from it. One would be when it conflicts with other things, which is kind of like preoccupation, but the conflict with family or relatives or friends.
And in this moment, we could use TV as an example.
TV, perfect example.
If I'm not cooking dinner for my family, if I'm not taking care of my own hygiene because I can't pull away, right?
Excellent. It just becomes, that it's in conflict with all other values. And then one that I like to always talk about, they talk about relapse. But the two that I really think that are so important, it's almost a lack of awareness of consequences. I'm not even thinking about the fact that I'm avoiding my family.
Or how about
or
online shopping?
Online shopping, perfect.
And what it's doing to my bank account.
Perfect. And what it's doing and online shopping is one of those things that I really do believe is probably more addictive than we give it credit for. Because it is the last one, secrecy. One can online shop and nobody really know about it, especially if the bill's coming to the person that's buying.
Sure. But if the UPS guy is trucking up in your sidewalk every day, bingo.
Bingo. And then I say, well, how many hours did you sit in front of the TV online shopping? Oh, I spent 7. Okay, bingo. These are the bells that ring. But Whitney, I wanted to make this point because I think it's important I think it takes some relief off of the things that we are enthusiastic about. Facebook can be addictive, but if it's not using me and I'm using it to find good reading material, good articles, keeping up with people that I haven't seen in a long time,
that's a healthy enthusiasm.
I think it's a healthy enthusiasm. They talk about excessive, which is interesting because excessive is what? Kind of borderline.
Yeah, you could be going off that cliff.
But wouldn't isn't it kind of exciting to know that we need healthy enthusiasms?
It is.
It's healthy, exciting. I'm not a series man, but I certainly love great shows, and I won't mention them because some of them are not the most family.
Oriented. Well, I can
but
promise
they have family in the word.
Yes, there you go. I promise you, when Orange is the New Black comes out next month, I will purge.
Really?
I will absolutely. I can sit there for 6 and 8 hours at a time. Because they come out with 8 or 10, maybe 12 episodes, and so you can binge on them.
Sure.
But the good news is, it only comes out once a year.
It only comes, and I would add the better news to make this really worthwhile. Keep this close by.
Okay.
And let's tell her, keep this, because you can always take a look at this and see, is this happening?
Right.
Am I forgetting to pick up my daughter because I'm too busy binging on this show.
Right.
Once in a while it's okay.
Sure. Or too busy working.
Or too busy working.
We do know
to miss out
workaholics.
on play or to miss out on other activities. That it just gives us a nice check mark. When is the excessive enthusiasm really moved us into a dysfunctional kind of a situation where life is really off balance and I'm out of control?
Thanks, Dr. Nick.
But stay enthusiastic.
Right.
Not necessarily for the orange is the new black. I don't know, but it must be good. I can't see you in orange. I thought you loved pink.
I do, but it's one of those gripping series.
See, we're enthusiastic for each other, but we're not that addicted.
No, we can go a couple days without seeing each other. I don't know about talking, but seeing,
Have a great day. Thanks, Whitney.
You too. Much more of Weekends with Whitney right after this. Atlas Foundation Repair, fixing your foundation problems for more than 30 years while preserving and protecting your trees.
When people say there's nothing to do in Baton Rouge, don't take that lying down. Tell them to go take a swing.
Or go fish.
Or go fly a kite. You have places to splash.
And places to ride.
Or even places to fly.
Take a trip back in time.
Or see the world.
No matter what you like to do or see.
Visit BREC.org and see how together we've made BREC better than imagined.
Buying or selling a home can be stressful and exhausting, unless you choose me. I'm Regina Roselle with K Realty. I'll do all the work. All you have to do is pack. Let's get moving together.
Thanks for joining us this morning. Hope to see you back here again next Sunday. Until then, you can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. I hope you have a wonderful day. This morning, we leave you with this.